Recently, Wheel of Fortune host Ryan Seacrest learned that he will continue to stay in Pat Sajak's shadow for even longer. An insider gives information about how he is remaining stuck in the middle of Pat's long goodbye. Ryan Seacrest gets his feet wet. One downside of taking over for the popular TV show Wheel of Fortune is that Ryan Seacrest is following in the footsteps of a legend. But if anyone is up to the challenge, it is Ryan. Although he has many years and several diverse jobs under his belt, he is still getting his DOF footing under him. However, just recently, Ryan learned that Pat Sajak, even though he is in retirement, is sticking around longer than expected. Currently, Ryan Seacrest is learning the ropes as the Wheel of Fortune host for his first season. But Pat Sajak is staying on board to host Celebrity Wheel of Fortune one last time. While Ryan has agreed to take over as host for the celebrity spin-off as well, Pat's last run has been delayed until 2025. Undoubtedly, this is great news for all Pat fanatics. However, it will leave Ryan in limbo as the replacement for even longer. But an insider has discussed what that looks like for Ryan. Pat Sajak's stay has consequence for Ryan. According to The Sun, a source revealed Ryan Seacrest's thoughts about the lingering goodbye. You have to feel for Ryan Seacrest because he's willing to work in Pat's shadow for longer than he expected he would have to when he signed up to take over Wheel, the insider reports. Furthermore, the source explains, if Ryan negotiates a longer-term contract this year, which is expected since he's only under a 2-year deal at the moment, he's going to have to stake a very strong claim on the primetime specials and celebrity editions. Unintended benefits for Pat Sajak. Additionally, the insider says that isn't truly fair for Ryan Seacrest, adding, and why shouldn't he? Ryan has endless experience as a primetime host. His Wheel ratings so far are amazing, and he is more experienced than Pat when it comes to bantering with celebrities on camera. For Ryan, the waiting period is a tightrope of feelings. The insider adds, Ryan is respectful of Pat and his legacy, but everybody involved with the show expects him to take a lot more ownership of the franchise once Pat has truly left the building once and for all. Furthermore, Ryan understands it wasn't his or Pat's decision, as the source says, ABC network decision and Sony TV. Consequentially, there are always priorities. The Wheel producers and Pat are at the mercy of the network schedule. Football is always going to come first. It's the most profitable thing on television. Additionally, Ryan Seacrest will continue with Wheel of Fortune and his other jobs in the meantime. Even Pat Sajak would like to wrap up the airing. Of course, Sony and Pat would prefer their episodes to air closer to when they were taped. But there is an upside here for Pat, who is suddenly a competitive force in the next game show host Emmy race, after surprising everybody with his 23-24 Emmy win earlier this fall. Ryan Seacrest stuck in Pat Sajak's long goodbye. Likewise, the source mentions how that can help with perceptions of Pat Sajak. They add, it probably helps Pat to put some distance between that win and the next and final time voters see him in the hosting job. But this wasn't the initial plan, and it makes Pat's eventual exit from the franchise look like a long goodbye. But they don't believe it was something Pat was plotting. That was never the intention. Ryan Seacrest brought in a reported 8,310,000 viewers watching the Wheel of Fortune for the premiere week of September 9 to September 15. With those ratings, it beat out primetime competitor Ken Jennings on Jeopardy! Undeniably, Jeopardy! Still held great ratings with 7,113,000 viewers tuned in for the episodes, but it was overtaken by Ryan's debut. For now, Ryan will have to keep working in Pat's shadow until the dust settles with Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. What do you think about Ryan Seacrest staying in the shadow of Pat Sajak longer? Do you think it is difficult living through the long goodbye of a legend? Are you liking Wheel of Fortune with Ryan as the host? Drop your comments below. The Wheel of Fortune has been an American television institution for decades, with Pat Sajak at the helm since 1981. For over 40 years, Sajak and his iconic co-host Vanna White have brought the thrill of spinning the giant wheel and solving word puzzles into millions of homes. However, as with all legends, Sajak's time as host has come to an end. In 2023, he announced that he would be stepping down as the host of Wheel of Fortune, leading to the highly anticipated selection of Ryan Seacrest. As the television world gears up for this major transition, Seacrest finds himself navigating a delicate and, at times, awkward situation. Sajak's retirement announcement marked the beginning of what many are calling his long goodbye, a farewell tour of sorts that stretches out over the course of an entire season. And in the midst of this extended goodbye, Ryan Seacrest is left waiting in the wings, ready to take over, but having to play the waiting game as Sajak takes his final victory lap. The transition. Seacrest's dream role comes with a twist. Ryan Seacrest is no stranger to high-profile gigs. From his long tenure hosting American Idol, to his years on the red carpet, and his stint as a co-host on Live with Kelly and Ryan, Seacrest has cemented himself as one of the most versatile and reliable hosts in the business. When Sajak announced his retirement, Seacrest seemed like the natural choice to take over the reins of Wheel of Fortune. With his charismatic personality, ability to connect with audiences, and extensive hosting experience, Seacrest is well suited for the job. Yet, what Seacrest might not have anticipated is how tricky it can be to step into the shoes of a television icon. Pat Sajak's retirement is not a quick handover. Rather, it is a slow and ceremonious farewell. As Sajak continues to host the show for his final season, Seacrest is left in a kind of limbo, excited to begin his tenure, but unable to fully take the reins until the veteran host says his final goodbye. This drawn-out transition has led to what many are referring to as a long goodbye, with Sajak's departure being less of a finale and more of a season-long event. For Ryan Seacrest, this means months of waiting in the shadows, preparing for his moment to shine, while Sajak remains at center stage. It's an unusual dynamic, to say the least, and one that has placed Seacrest in an awkward, albeit respectful, position. Navigating Sajak's long goodbye, a balancing act for Seacrest. For Seacrest, the challenge is navigating the delicate balance between showing respect for Sajak's legendary career and preparing to make the show his own. Sajak's long-standing relationship with the audience means that Seacrest can't rush in and make sweeping changes. The transition must be handled with care, honoring the legacy of the man who has defined the show for over 4 decades. Seacrest has always been known for his professionalism and adaptability, qualities that will serve him well during this transition. Instead of viewing Sajak's extended farewell as an obstacle, Seacrest has taken a patient approach, allowing Sajak to have his moment while subtly preparing for his own. He's been seen in interviews expressing admiration for Sajak's career and acknowledging the significance of the role he's about to step into. This situation could be tricky for any new host, but Seacrest's willingness to honor tradition while subtly preparing to bring his own flair to the show is what sets him apart. He understands the gravity of the situation and the importance of continuity. While there's no denying that he'll eventually bring his own style to the show, Seacrest knows that the key to a successful handover is patience and respect. The audience's attachment, a farewell to Pat, not a goodbye to the wheel. Part of what makes the transition from Pat Sajak to Ryan Seacrest so delicate is the audience's deep attachment to Sajak. For many fans, Sajak is not just the host of Wheel of Fortune, he is Wheel of Fortune. His charm, wit, and dry sense of humor have been integral to the show's success. And for generations of viewers, the ideal of someone else stepping into his role's long goodbye plays out over the course of the season. Viewers are given ample time to come to terms with the change. For Seacrest, this provides both a blessing and a challenge. On one hand, the extended farewell allows the audience to process Sajak's departure in a gradual way, making the eventual transition smoother. On the other hand, it also means that Seacrest will have to prove himself as a worthy successor to a host who has been a staple of American television for decades. But Seacrest is no stranger to winning over audiences. His innate ability to connect with people has been a hallmark of his career, and he's well aware that he will need to earn the trust of Wheel of Fortune fans. By embracing Sajak's legacy rather than trying to replace it, Seacrest is positioning himself as the natural next step for the show, someone who can keep the tradition alive while also bringing fresh energy to the iconic game show. Looking ahead, what Seacrest brings to the table. As the transition approaches, there's a sense of excitement about what Ryan Seacrest will bring to Wheel of Fortune. While he's made it clear that he plans to honor the show's legacy, there's no doubt that Seacrest's presence will introduce some new elements to the beloved format. His experience in live television, his ability to connect with contestants, and his natural charisma are all factors that could breathe new life into the show. Seacrest's versatility as a host will also serve him well in the fast-paced, light-hearted atmosphere of Wheel of Fortune. Whether it's interacting with contestants, riffing with Vanna White, or engaging with the audience, Seacrest's hosting style is likely to bring a fresh modern energy to the show while maintaining the warmth and familiarity that viewers love. Additionally, Seacrest's involvement could open the door to new possibilities for Wheel of Fortune. With his extensive network of connections in the entertainment industry, Seacrest could potentially introduce special guests, themed episodes, or other creative twists that keep the show relevant for a new generation of viewers. His vision for the future of the show, combined with his respect for its past, could usher in a new era for Wheel of Fortune, the end of an era and the beginning of another. As Pat Sajak's Long Goodbye continues to unfold, fans of Wheel of Fortune are experiencing the end of an era while also anticipating the beginning of a new one. Ryan Seacrest, stuck in this transitional moment, has demonstrated grace and patience as he waits for his turn to take the wheel, literally. While stepping into the shoes of a legend like Pat Sajak is no easy feat, Seacrest has shown that he's more than up for the challenge. By respecting Sajak's legacy and preparing to make his own mark on the show, Seacrest is ensuring that the future of Wheel of Fortune remains bright. As one chapter closes, another is set to begin, and with Seacrest at the helm, the next spin of the wheel promises to be just as thrilling.